Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about right now is what's going on in the UK. And this is all according to my best friend Amanda, who lives in the UK, and she's like my boots on the ground over there. She said, this is a quick email concerning a few things over here. This is not the email I was originally going to send you, but I'm working on that one and you'll get it soon. I will put relevant links at the end of the email. Okay. She said, so first up concerns what's in people's grocery baskets, restaurants monitoring what people eat, and foods being banned in Wales. What? She said that's, of course, if these news articles are actually telling the truth. I came across an article from 3 or 4 months ago with the headline that pizza, cereal, crisps, or potato chips, and yogurts are among 16 foods and drink items facing a supermarket ban in Wales as they crack down on so-called unhealthy food. Yogurt is considered unhealthy? Okay. She said the article goes on to say that unhealthy food and drink high in fat, salt, and sugar will not be allowed to be marketed within 2 meters of checkouts or queuing areas. The government announced that the new rules intended to curb impulse food shopping and will apply to medium and large businesses with 50 or more employees. So if I've understood this correctly, very small stores like Corner Shop, for instance, will be banned from selling these items, but big supermarkets will still be able to sell the items, just not within 2 meters of the checkout tills. I've never seen yogurt being sold near a checkout till, though. That's always back in the dairy section. Pizza's always in the frozen section. Cereal, that's never by the registers. Potato chips, yeah. She said if huge supermarkets have to put the items elsewhere in the store, that's not really a ban, is it? No, it's not. She said, so see how MSM likes to screw with your head? Yeah, no shit. Also, if a large supermarket has to keep certain items away from checkout tills, they'll be putting somewhere else, and shoppers will go straight to where they are, even if they really want them, won't they? Yeah. Anyway, the article carries on to say that the new rules could be introduced by 2026 if approved, and explains how this will work. There's a 2-stage test to see if a product is included. They will need to fall into a list of categories based on Public Health England, Calorie and Sugar Reformulation Program, and the Soft Drink Industry Levy. The nutrient profiling model will then be applied. If it scores 4 or more for food and 1 or more for drinks, then it will not be able to be promoted. Councils will enforce the new rules if there is a breach. They will issue an improvement notice before any penalty. If there's no compliance, a fixed penalty of £2,500 will follow. The regulations say they expect councils to make 2,608 visits per year. If this actually goes ahead in Wales, then how long will it be before this is rolled out across the rest of the UK, I wonder? Last week, there were several news articles with the headline, Supermarkets Told to Cut 100 Calories from Shoppers' Baskets, an Anti-Obesity Drive. As part of a 10-year strategy to cut diet-related diseases, retailers and manufacturers in England will be subject to a new healthy food standards, according to the Department of Health and Social Care. However, retailers will also be given flexibility in how to meet the target, such as tweaking recipes, running price promotions on healthier items, and redesigning store layouts. Health Secretary Wes Streeting said, if everyone who is overweight reduce their calorie intake by around 200 calories a day, the equivalent of a bottle of a fizzy drink, obesity will be halved. Well, I have news for them. If I want to buy 5 chocolate bars and a multi-pack of crisps, then I'm bloody well going to buy them, and no one is going to stop me. For all they know, I could be doing a monthly stock up. At least that's my excuse, and I'll be sticking to it. And another article came out concerning restaurants being forced to spy on customers' meals. This is the one that's I was waiting for you to talk about. The government is drawing up plans that would require residents or restaurants to monitor and report what their customers eat as part of efforts to combat obesity. Large restaurant chains and fast food establishments are expected to face mandatory reporting requirements on the average calorie consumption of their diners. While specific regulations for restaurants remain undecided, they are anticipated to reflect similar rules being imposed on supermarkets, which must reduce the average shopping basket by 100 calories. Restaurant industry leaders expect to disclose sales data on foods high in fat, salt, sugar, with the government set targets for reducing calories, fat, salt, sugar likely to follow. Christy Nichols, who is the chief executive of UK Hospitality, said that the industry has been totally blindsided by the plans. So it's my understanding that this will be coming in the future. Do you see how authoritarian and totalitarian the current UK government wants to be? There are some other things coming too, but I'm going to tell you that in my next email. So how is a restaurant going to report you for eating a double cheeseburger? You know what I mean? Instead of eating salmon. I don't get it. She said, here's my thoughts on these things. If the UK goes ahead with this, then do not think for a moment that this won't be rolled out around the globe. It's most likely will be rolled out to those who are part of the WEF. It seems like the UK is being first to roll out these things and the rest will follow suit. I also think these things will be part of the beast system in the future, and you know what I'm talking about. Of course I do. Every part of your life is going to be dictated to you, from what you can and can't buy, what you can and can't eat, how far you can travel, and the list goes on. In other news, a couple of scandals have broken out. The first one involves corrupt immigration advisors who have been charging immigrants up to £22,000 for skilled worker visas. The government is taking action on visa abuse. Downing Street has insisted, amid allegations that corrupt immigration advisors are charging underqualified migrants up to £22,000 to supply them with skilled worker visas. The scam involves businesses applying for special sponsorship licenses from the Home Office because they claim they cannot find the right workers in Britain and therefore need to recruit from abroad. Immigration advisors then coach the foreign workers on how to overstate their levels of education and experience to secure a visa to come to the UK. New rules introduced last April mean foreign workers need a job offer with a salary of at least £38,700 for a skilled worker visa. There are lower wage thresholds for health and care visas. I'll let you read the rest in the article. And the second scandal is all about illegal immigrants, asylum seekers working illegally in the UK as delivery drivers for Deliveroo, Just Eat, etc. Migrants living in asylum hotels or illegally working as fast food delivery riders within hours of arriving in the UK, it has been claimed. The Conservative MP for Croydon South filmed himself visiting a hotel in central London where migrants have been placed by the Home Office while their claims for asylum are assessed. His footage shows bikes and bags with Deliveroo, Just Eat, and Uber Eats branding parked outside the venue. An asylum hotel was swarmed by immigration officers in a crackdown on illegal delivery drivers. One suspect was heard screaming off at officials on Sunday as phones and bikes were seized. It comes after several asylum seekers were suspected of working for Just Eat despite receiving government handouts at the expense of the taxpayer. The Sun newspaper reports that the operation spanned several hours, with more than 20 officers descending on the site in stab vests, taking screen grabs from phones before multiple arrests were made. after the Express revealed the illegal trade last week, Deliveroo, Just Eat, and Uber Eats bosses were hauled before the Home Office. Firms have now vowed to crack down on illegal workers. Jesus. That's, oh my God. Okay, so now in a video that I did the other day on my other channel, a community member was talking about how she has powdered Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, and bacon. And I said, oh, good God, you know, tell me where I can get these. So she sent in these pictures. Do you see these? Raw essentials for soy sauce and for bacon, and Hoosier Hill Farm for Worcestershire powder. So that's really awesome. Thank you so much. So now I know where to go to get these things. And now you guys know where to go get these things, because I think it's extremely important that we stock up on these things, okay? Because not for nothing, it takes up, you know, less room in our pantries than to have huge gallon jugs of Worcestershire sauce or soy sauce or, you know, bacon fat and stuff like that. And but anyway, okay, I will leave you guys now with these videos that were sent in by community members. I will see you guys in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fear less and God bless. Ciao.
Underground cities. Former Bush administration official Catherine Fitz. She was just on Tucker Carlson's podcast, and she did this really deep dive. Basically, they uncovered of what they know of. There are 170 underground cities under the entirety of the U.S. and in the ocean that the U.S. has been building since 1988. With a total of what they found, they've spent over $21 trillion on underground systems and cities. They said that they use an energy source or energy technologies that the public has never been allowed to see. And it's all for the purpose of a potential extinction level event. You know, like for years now, people are like, what's that sound of, like it sounds like trumpets in the air and stuff. They're actively drilling under the entire U.S. And that's what I think the sounds are. It's just literally the earth just shifting underneath their feet. That's creating this noise of these trumpet-like sounds.
Why wouldn't they do it? They have the money. They have the resources. They have the land.
But then here's the question. Who's surviving?
Yeah.
Who's on these
And
lists?
that's the thing. When this stuff gets out, if this thing were to be leaked, which it already has, people realize that. I mean, what are we going to do? We're not going to be on that list. People are going to lose their minds.
Pressure, though, of having to make a decision for your family. They're like, let's just say it was like, you can come if you want. And it's like, you have to make a decision. We're telling you it's going to happen in like 30 days. Are you going to come with us or not? And you actually have to make that call.
Have you guys seen the Doomsday Map?
Uh-oh.
Basically, like, if there's a giant event that happens on Earth and parts of the world floods and, like, all that sea levels rise, they came out with a map that looks like this.
Oh, wow.
This is America. They do, like, the whole world. This lady on TikTok, she compared what this map looked like, the land that Bill Gates has been buying. She took the map of the farmland and overlaid it onto this Doomsday Map. Every single dry land piece was occupied by his farmland.
Yeah.
For instance, so California is basically completely underwater.
Yeah.
But there's these little pockets of islands. See those?
Yeah.
That little one right there, that's one of his farmland.
Louisiana, Georgia.
That all correlates with, like, these high points in America.
Yeah.
And around the world. It's super creepy.
So we need to get a boat.
According to this map, we're good. We're gonna almost have beachfront property, baby.
It's perfect.
Did it say the thing about, like,
People got to really be careful because it's happening right now with Indeed. Did you hear about what happened with Indeed? Like how people are going on interviews missing?
Nah.
There's listings on Indeed saying, hey, we're hiring for a receptionist job in, you know, various areas, right? These jobs that they're going to are in warehouses.
The fuck?
And they're at night.
Okay.
Now people are missing in Florida and in Atlanta.
How long has this been going on for?
I don't know how, it's just recently. It's been reported now. I don't know how long it's been going, but there's people reportedly missing now that are from these job postings. Now we got to watch for fake postings and people, you know, because that, again, that's the biggest business on earth, the movement of people.
People preying on people that need it too. Like, people are looking for jobs.
That's crazy. And I think that when it comes to the CIA, when it comes to government officials and everything else, they're tied into this shit.
For sure.
Not all of them, but a lot of them are in this stuff because that's how they fund a lot of things. Trafficking, drugs, I mean, you name it.
It's big business.
It's big business. This is why I think that Trump now is firing all these, government officials, IRS, like every department he's getting rid of because we're too overgoverned. So what's happening is he doesn't know who's corrupt, who's not. Eliminate most of them. Mm-hmm. Like we got to do a clear audit on all this. People are disappearing and they're thinking it's a job. They're pulling up and they're
disappearing.
Gone.